Diode.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to today's edition of Hard Facts, originally live from your number one talk news and sports radio station with 92.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. It's 12 minutes gone past 3 p.m. and I sincerely, from the depth of my heart, I hope that you're doing better than I'm doing. I'm not in the best of places right now. I really hope that you're doing better than I'm doing. Really. In many ways, in more ways than I can actually say on radio. But I hope you're doing better. Anyways, it's tough. That's not news. It's hard. That also is not news. It's difficult. That's the understatement of the millennium for Nigerians. It's a hard knock life out there. But to stay safe and get involved. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult to even comprehend or even believe the saying. But if we're going to move this country from where it is to where it should be, we need to get involved. And I must reiterate, getting involved does not mean becoming a politician yourself. It doesn't mean vying for elective position. If you feel the need to do so, please participate in the political process. But it doesn't mean that for everyone. For everyone, what getting involved simply means is that we are all very much directly and deeply concerned as to what happens in our country and more precisely how our country is being governed and how it's being managed. That means we will be concerned by the quality of persons who win elective positions, and we don't just end it there. We make sure that we demand accountability of our leadership. We must begin to get involved. 2023 is around the corner. I think INEC has released the timetable already for general elections 2023. I'll come to that shortly. You're welcome once again, though. It's Hard Facts today. I'm Dio. From now till 7 or thereabouts, we keep the conversation going as usual. Several matters we're going to be discussing. You're welcome as well. So on the show today, I've got side comments. I'll get back to those in a moment. I think I had somewhat started already. And I get after that to today's rant, something in my mind that express some thoughts in it. Now today's rant will last till what time again? Till 4:30 p.m. Yep, because usually the rant ends by 4 o'clock, or that segment ends by 4 p.m. But whenever our friends from the Bridge Clinic are going to be coming by for discussing fertility matters, they'll be on by 4:30. So I simply continue the rant till 4:30 today. Dr. Tambari Femi Oluwole from fertility specialist at the Bridge Clinic here in Port Harcourt will be in the studio from 4:30 p.m. We're discussing male infertility. All right, join the conversation by 4:30. So the round segment, taking your thoughts and my thoughts, will go on till 4:30. So at 5 o'clock we wrap up the conversation with Dr. Tambari Femi. And we got the news update then, and then afterwards we're discussing a different matter. Yes, we are. What's that matter? Well, yeah, you probably heard about it already. Civil servants in Rivers State are resuming work. Yeah, fully, that is. Fully. Where's that story? It's here somewhere. Remember that some cadre of civil servants in Rivers State had been asked to stay off work because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, that situation has changed right now, as the Rivers State government has directed all civil servants on grade levels 1 to 13 to resume today. Now, a statement by the State Head of Service, Rufus Godwins, urged all workers to strictly comply with COVID protocols as they get back to work. Remember that in January, the civil servants on grade levels 1 to 13 were directed to stay home to curb the spread of the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. All right, so what plans has the government put in place to ensure the safety of workers, and what are the latest plans that the River State government has as far as the welfare of labor workers in the state is concerned? These and other related matters comes up in the 5 o'clock hour. Head of Service Rufus Godwins will be my guest for that conversation. Headlines 5:30, major news at 6 p.m, open season afterwards. If you miss out on any matter discussed, I can take a few contributions at that time till about 7 when the show comes to an end. And the sports camp will be in by 7 o'clock for extra time. All the action from the world of sports. If you missed if the action from the Champions League semi-final games played on Tuesday and Wednesday, I feel certain that the Sports Gang will give you a wrap-up of those games. Remarkable game last night. Absolutely remarkable game last night. At one point, it looked like PSG were going to coast to victory. Okay, maybe not coast, but we're going to win the game. And then Manchester City just became just from nowhere, just turned up, and were looking quite sublime, especially in the second half. They were just too much to handle for PSG. Both goals, by the way, were scored in the second half. Kevin De Bruyne were in the 64th minute, and Riyad Mahrez in the 71st minute. PSG, it got worse for them when Idrissa Gana Gueye got a red card, sending off in the 77th minute, and it never looked for them good for them afterwards. But still, both semi-final games look like we're going to have quite the cracker in the second leg. Looking forward to that. Europa League games are on today, I believe. Yes, indeed, and your very own, your very own Arsenal semi-finals. Your very own Arsenal are going to be strutting their stuff today. 8 p.m. is kick-off time. I'm sure Arsenal is going to put on quite the display today. No doubt about that. And I'm pressed for time right now. I don't know if I can do an Arsenal moment, but I'm pressed for time. But I guarantee tomorrow we'll be celebrating Arsenal's victory. So there'll be an Arsenal moment tomorrow. All right. So let's save it for tomorrow. Pretty much that's today's show. If there are any changes, you will find out. Just stay with us. So let's see. Let's get on with today's side comments. So I was saying earlier on at the start of the show, I think INEC has released. I think I saw a story earlier on. I was in the middle of several things. I think INEC has released. I think it's February. Is it February 18? Is it February 18? I think I saw something earlier on. February 18 for the. Yep. Okay, I have the story here. INEC to release 2023 timetable. Just a moment. Alright, so let's see. Okay, here we go. INEC announces date for 2023 general elections. I know I saw something earlier on. Yep, and I'm trying to find the date right now. The date. Yeah, elections have been scheduled to hold on Saturday, February 18, stating that a complete timetable would be out before the end of the year. So February 18, timetable is out already. The politicians have gone their maneuverings already. You can't afford to stay on the sidelines. And I'm not asking you to register as a political party member. You cannot afford to stay on the... Your life depends on this. The safety of your children depends on this. The quality of education your children get depends on this. Because let's face it, most of us cannot afford to be in the category of those who spend $500 million sending their children to the US alone. We're not talking about the UK, talking about other places. Being able to earn an income depends on this. Being able to shelter yourself, shelter your family, clothe yourself, feed your family depends on your life. Your very existence depends on this. You can't afford to sit on the sidelines anymore. Enough with the let them do what they want to do. Let them do what they want to do. There's nothing you can do. Don't believe those folks who always call and with their negativity and say there's nothing you can do. It's not unlikely some of them they have ulterior motives for spreading that narrative, because that's the narrative that the honorables and excellencies want you to believe, that there's nothing you can do. So it's not surprising that they're going to get some folks to try to help them spread that narrative, to convince you that there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. Don't believe them. Can't afford to stand. Standing on the sidelines and leaving it in the hands of God is what has led us to this stage right now. A people citizens of any nation are also responsible for the state of that nation. More on this in the days, weeks, months to come as we draw closer to the much awaited 2023. Remember, it wasn't long ago. We're talking about 2019. Look at where we are today. So that said, other side comment news that caught my attention. You must have heard about this already. The Rivers State Security Council has imposed a statewide night curfew from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. starting today. Governor Nyesom Wike in a state broadcast today said the review became necessary following the threat of further deadly attacks on hard and soft targets in the state. Let's hear what His Excellency had to say about this development. Just a moment. I think it's 2921. Okay. Oh, finally. Okay, I am kind of messing things up over here. Okay.
The State Security Council has today, after exhaustive deliberation, decided and advised that a statewide curfew on human and vehicular movements be imposed as part of additional measures to prevent the faceless criminals from unleashing their deadly actions. Consequently, a night curfew is hereby imposed on the entire 23 local government areas of the state, prohibiting any human and or vehicular movement within or any part of the state from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. from today, 29th April 2021, until further notice. We wish to repeat that in taking these and other drastic measures at this time, our singular intention is to secure our state and guarantee the protection of lives and property.
And that's good. It's good to know that the government, the state government, the governor is being proactive in doing what they can to keep us safe. All right, I'm hoping, of course, that they are taking the right decisions. It's a good thing, once again, they're being proactive. And we all must understand, we almost work with government right now. The times are very strange and difficult, so we must all be able to bear some inconvenience to ensure that government and security agencies can do their job and ensure the safety of everyone. However, slight question here. Your Excellency, if you don't mind, you know me, this boy, he always has something to say. One question, he won't just keep quiet and move on. Okay, Your Excellency, since you understand me now, I hope. Question. So before today, Your Excellency announced that there was going to be a closure of land borders, if you will, from 8 p.m. I think it was from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily, just the borders, both land and waterway borders, so no one can go in and out of River State between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. I think that was the initial announcement from Your Excellency-ness. Now that we have a statewide curfew from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., does it in any way affect the timing of the borders? I know that since we have a statewide curfew between 10 and 6 a.m., obviously the statewide curfew affects the borders naturally. I mean, if you can't move around, why should you come into the state during that period? But does that change the timing for the curfew of the borders? Since within the state it's 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., does it mean that the curfew for the borders has also changed from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., or is it still 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. at the borders? Your Excellency, I think it's good for us to make this distinction, this clarification, to let people know if there's been an alteration, if this latest announcement negates the previous one, or the previous one stands as this new one stands as well. Your Excellency, let's so that there will be no confusion, and so that our men will not collect, so that those who are posted to the borders will not see this as an opportunity to be collecting. Your Excellency, let's not give room for any confusion. Let's not give room for that. Let's make everything clear for the citizens. We're trying to help the citizens after all, Your Excellency. Your Excellency-ness is trying to help the people. So Your Excellency-ness should ensure the people have all the information that they need. Government must communicate, and communicate effectively to the people. And very important, to our gallant officers also, because some of them sometimes, I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody, but some of them sometimes You know, this English of a thing, Your Excellency, is a problem. Your Excellency is a problem. English, the English language is a very, very big problem. So let's work on that, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. So is there anything else that caught my attention today? I'll do my best to not read out any headlines or stories or any killings or abductions. I'm quite certain you're inundated with that already, so I will be leaving those out. The River State Police Command said it's made adequate deployment to enforce the curfew. I hope also that the CP, Ebuka Friday, the versatile one, has also spoken to his men, the gallant officers, on how to go about carrying out this responsibility. And no one is suggesting he should not enforce the curfew. Please, by all means, ensure the curfew. And I hope and pray that our men are safe, our security men are safe as they go about their duties and nothing bad happens to them. But please, treat citizens responsibly. Enforce the curfew, yes, but treat citizens responsibly, humanely, with understanding, some compassion, professionally as well. They're also Nigerians, they're also human beings, and we're all in this together. We're all in this together. Okay, was there anything else that caught my attention today? Lots of other stuff. Okay, well, I think I'll be wrapping it up right now. I think that may have been it for today's side comments. But in spite of all that's going on, and I know we have a lot on our hands right now, but CP Ebuka Friday, remember your counterpart, and I think it was Ogun State, has fired 3 police officers, who extorted a student to the tune of 153,000 naira. It has happened in Ogun State. They've been sacked already, going through the whole trial process right now and all of that. When are we going to hear the result of the investigation of the crackheads that extorted Uniport undergrad students here in in Rivers State? When are we going to hear when is the bank statement going to surface? You know what, your CPNS, if the problem is getting the bank statement, I have a few friends in the banking sector. Managers, regional managers, bank people, they can pull some strings, even if they're not working in the bank in question, whatever bank it is. They have synergy. They can pull some strings, talk to some friends in whatever bank it is, and the bank statement will come out in minutes, if not even seconds. So your CPNS, we're there for you. The people are there for you to help you solve this important crime. We're there to help you solve it. The citizens, after all, we're friends, so we'll help you provide information that you may need. And finally, Your Excellency, if we need to build a future, if we need to start to build a future, work in a future where we know how to deal with a lot of the things, the challenges we're dealing with right now, education is a major tool, is a veritable, verifiable tool. We must, as a matter of urgency, build an education right now. We must do that, Your Excellency. The state of basic education in Rivers State, generally speaking, leaves a lot to be desired. Where are the 10,000 teachers we need, Your Excellency? Where are the 4,000 non-teaching staff? Those figures may have gone up from your first tenure, because some may have retired, some left service for whatever reason. The needs may have changed, number of children in school may have increased. We need to work on infrastructure. We need to put money into this, so we can take those children who are forcefully cleaning windshields on a bar road, on Stadium Road, on Ada George, on everywhere, so they do not become the ballabog snatchers and the so-called and the kidnappers and so-called bandits and so-called agitators tomorrow. We are building future criminals. That's what we're doing, whether or not we know it. Let's fix education, Your Excellency. Let's fix education. Flyovers can take us from GRA Junction to water lines maybe a minute faster. Education will take us to a future where we may no longer even require flyovers. So that's it for today's Star Comments. I go on a break, and when I return, today's rant comes up. And remember, today's rant goes on till 4:30 p.m. That's taking your thoughts in mind, as our friends from the Bridge Clinic will be in 4:30 today. Do please stay tuned.
We give the facts.
News entirely.
We give the evidence. Just to keep you informed.
News, weather.
I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Keeping up with political issues and developments around you, only on Nigeria Info.
When knowledge meets action, information liberates. How informed do you need to be to thrive in a fast-changing world?
Listen to experts only.
Keep it dial locked on 92.3 Nigeria Info for the best of news, talk, and sports 24/7.
I am listening.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Diode.
Welcome back. It is Hard Fact to 90.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dial. 27 to go before 4 p.m. I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got something in my mind. I hope this mind of mine does not explode someday, because there's always something on it. And sometimes it actually feels very heavy, I confess. And many times it causes me to do things I'm not proud of. But I do have something in my mind today as well. And I'll be expressing some thoughts on it. I hope you're willing to express your thoughts in mine as well, all the way till 4:30 p.m. today. You may have heard me say this a gazillion times. I've said many things a gazillion times, actually. And this particular one is, if there were only one reason why we have leadership, or why we have people in leadership, however way they get there, whether it's by elections or any other means, leadership exists to solve problems. That's it. It's as simple as that, actually. Now, it doesn't mean that the actual act of leadership is a very simple one, but as far as the job description is concerned, it's not more complex than that. Leadership exists for the singular purpose of solving problems. What does it mean to solve problems? What does solving or problem solving mean? Also, very simply put, problem solving is the process of finding solutions to difficult or complex issues. In other words, if you're going to be a leader, or if you're vying for a leadership position, you should know already, that you are going to be confronted with difficult and complex issues. Because if the problems were moi moi or bole, you have no business there. Almost everybody can figure out how to make moi moi or roast bole. But because the issues are more complex than making moi moi or roasting bole, that's why we go through the arduous process, in our case the democratic one via elections and other things, to elect people referred to as leaders to manage our affairs. Because once again, the problems are going to be difficult and they are going to be complex. So, leaders are there to solve problems. There are different tools that leaders can use in problem solving. One of them, an integral one, is critical thinking. Critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to think clearly and rationally about what to do or what to believe. It includes the ability to engage in reflective and independent thinking. And someone with critical thinking skills is able to understand logical connections between ideas, which is what I'm going to right now. You must be able to understand the logical connections between ideas, because when you are putting ideas together in your bid to solve a problem, they must logically connect. I mean, there has to be a connection, a relationship, symbiotic preferably, between the two of them. In case you're wondering why I'm postulating and theorizing so far, well, I'll get to the point in a moment. So, problem solving critical for leadership. An important tool in doing that is critical thinking. Unfortunately, quite more fortunately, in the Nigerian scheme of things, it appears very simple to solve any problems. No intentions at all. They are completely stunned and taken aback by the complexity of the problems that they have to deal with. And oftentimes, that's why they keep on blaming people. When anything and everything goes wrong, they are never responsible for it. It is never because of any failing of theirs or inadequacies. Somebody else is responsible for it, because the fact of the matter is many times they are overwhelmed, maybe even clueless, and have no idea what even the problem is, let alone how to go about fixing it. And sometimes, maybe even sometimes, you have a scenario where Nigerian leaders are attempting to solve the problem. They're trying to do something, like setting up committees, press statements, oversight function, going to the scene of the incident, allocating funds. You know, when they're acting like they know what they're doing, trying to solve something. Now, this is where you know something is wrong, because the critical thinking process leaves you in awe, because the ideas, the ideas that they're proposing and maybe trying to combine and put together have no logical connections. Once again, why am I going on and on about this? A story here I came across earlier today is what's rattled my cage right now. Where is that story? It's here somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is, in the Punch newspaper. Well, you can find it elsewhere as well, but I'm going with the Punch's version. Reps OK bill to create additional 111 seats for women. Yeah, Reps OK bill to create additional 111 seats for women. Don't just run with the headlines. Find out what the story is about. So let's find out what the story really is about. What exactly are our reps doing, and is there a problem that they're trying to fix? Let's see what the story says. And somebody needs to fix my computer here in the studio, obviously. But let's see what the story says. Now, the House of Reps is seeking to amend the Constitution to create a total of 111 additional seats in the National Assembly exclusively for women. More seats will also be created in the state assemblies to allow more female participation in politics and governance. Oh, so that second paragraph answers the question of the problem they're trying to fix. Second paragraph again goes, more seats will also be created in the state house of assemblies to allow more female participation in politics and governance. So that's the problem. Statement of problem. Women are not, women are not getting enough representation in politics and governance. And it is a problem. It is a real problem. I do agree. I do identify as well that is a problem that needs attending to, a problem that we need to fix. We need to fix that. There's a lot wrong as far as representation by women in many things, not just even in politics and governance, in very many things actually. We can have a whole day's conversation, and many people do, I believe, as regards to the issue of female participation and female representation. So when it comes to politics and governance, it is definitely a problem that we need to fix. So our honorables have been able to identify the problem. How are they going about fixing it? That's what they leave me scratching my head. Now, this is being sponsored or proposed in a bill sponsored by the Deputy Chief Whip in Kiruka, Onye Jiocha, and 85 other members, which passed second reading at the House on Wednesday. The bill is titled A Bill for an Act to Alter the Provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to create additional special seats for women in the federal and state legislative houses and for related matters. Now, the Senate currently has 109 seats, while the House has 360. Each of the 36 states currently have 3 Senate seats and a representative of the Federal Capital Territory, while membership of the House is based on the population size of the state. The bill is now seeking to create an additional Senate seat for each state, including the FCT, making 37 extra seats and bringing the total seats to 146. For the House, 2 additional seats will be created in each state as well as the FCT, making an additional 74 seats, bringing the total to 434. So that is the solution that our honorables in the National Assembly, that is their answer. That is how they intend to fix the problem of female representation in politics and governance in Nigeria. And you're probably thinking right now, that's a good idea. What's Dayo? This boy is always just shouting because he has a microphone in front of him. Well, maybe I do shout sometimes, but not just because I have a microphone in front of me. Well, maybe that's too. Now, check out the story from the Premium Times. This was published December 31, 2020. 2021 budget. Again, Buhari overlooks National Assembly's frivolous earnings. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday signed a 2021 appropriation bill into law, overlooking the increase in the budget, particularly in the National Assembly's allocation. Moving forward, a total of 134 billion naira was budgeted for the National Assembly for 2021 out of the 496 billion naira allocated for statutory transfers. Premium Times reported how the legislature increased its budget and made an attempt to publish details of its allocations. About 6 billion naira was added to the 128 billion proposed by President Buhari. This is also despite the fact that the president had initially increased the National Assembly's budget from 125 billion naira in previous years to 128 billion naira for 2021. Now, there has been a public outcry over the huge salaries and allowances of members of the National Assembly over the years. The pay packages of lawmakers and other public office holders have been an issue of serious concern among Nigerians. And it still continues to be a matter of serious concern among Nigerians. So, for the year 2021, the National Assembly alone received 134 billion naira. It has been widely reported that the legislature in Nigeria is one of the at the National Assembly, that is, one of the highest, if not the highest paid in the whole world. And I'm talking in comparison with first world countries, with countries that don't have problems like we have. Our honorables in the National Assembly are some of the highest paid, if not the highest, or they are arguably the highest paid Congress members in the world. In spite of the fact that Nigeria is the poverty capital of that same world, not another world, the same world I'm talking about. In spite of the fact that Nigeria has arguably the highest number of out-of-school children in the same world, not a different universe, in the same world. In spite of the fact that I think about 33% of the workforce of Nigerians are unemployed or underemployed, in spite of the fact that we have record unemployment figures in the country, in this same world, in the world. Yet, our National Assembly members this year got 134 billion. Their allowances are all kinds of things, including one that they call running cost. How much is running cost again? Can someone remind me via WhatsApp on 0809 030 6416? The running cost that honorables in the National Assembly get, tens of millions, I suppose, or several millions at least, for what they termed running cost, which they allocate or allocated to themselves. with the myriad of problems that we're dealing with in this country, so much is going to so few members of the National Assembly. Now, in a bid to fix the problem of female representation, in spite of calls to address the humongous sums that goes to our National Assembly members, where there are several calls for there to be a review of their newspaper allowance, this one allowance, hazard, inconvenience, sleeping while in session allowance, all kinds of allowances. In spite of calls to reassess that, review it downwards, there have even been calls for us to have a unicameral legislature, instead of the bicameral one, where we have two now, we have upper, lower, Senate, House of Reps. Some have called for us to have just one to reduce the cost at all costs. Whilst we're still having all of these discussions in the country, our honorables in the National Assembly are considering that they are not even enough yet. If people are complaining that we're collecting 13.7 million. People are complaining collecting 13 point something million for running costs and all the other allowances and this one and that one. People are complaining that was collect this year alone we collected 37 billion. You guys are complaining. You are still, or is it 134 billion pounds? You're complaining. We're not even enough yet. We are not even enough because you see, women are not being represented. You understand? And we want our mothers, our women to be represented. So to allow them representation, let's add another 111 seats to the National Assembly. And your guess is as good as mine what that will do to the National Assembly's budget come 2023, or is it 2024? Remarkable. Remarkable indeed. Why not put structures and measures in place to ensure that from the party level, women are allowed participation? Because many things work against women. And I've heard the argument, who is stopping women? A lot is stopping women. A lot is stopping women. Meetings, political party meetings happen at night. Women shouldn't be out at night. Why do you hold them at night? And if they must be at night, why can't the woman be there at night as well? And there are many other things that work against women participation in politics and governance in Nigeria, because by and large we live in a patriarchal society. In extreme cases, the man is seen as superior and the woman is even perceived as being inferior. So that's a real issue that we can have a conversation on and deal with. But definitely adding 111 additional seats to a National Assembly cannot be the result of critical thinking as a result of solving this problem. The burden to the budget, the burden to the average Nigerians is unspeakable. And yet no talk about reducing newspaper allowance or sleeping on duty allowance. Nothing about that. Remember what I said at the start of the show today? You can't afford to stand on the sidelines any longer. And to our leaders, you don't have to force yourself to think. It's like sometimes this thinking thing is even causing problem. Just if you can't fix the problem, just leave it. Just leave it the way it is. Because sometimes it appears when they try to fix it, they're only making it worse. So just leave it alone if you cannot properly apply yourself and critically think out solutions to the complex problems that we have to deal with. And many times these problems are not even that complex, as is this case. On that note, I end my very long rant today. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope I didn't bore you. Any thoughts of my itinerant? The number to the same line 0817 923 0002 or 0003, or 0817 923 0007 or 0009. We're live on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, on Facebook at Nigeria Info PH. Also, drop a comment there. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Please keep it brief, concise, straight to the point, and want to call his answer, do please turn down the volume of your radio set. It's expedient that to do so, else we really, literally cannot have a conversation. So I think I'll, what do I go to now? I think I'll start with the phone lines. Okay, let's go there to the phone. Or let's start with Facebook. Don Williams goes, why talking about seats for women? Additional states should also be created. Let's see. And Gift Heart goes, a nation in poverty is consciously and deliberately creating more concurrent bills. All right. And Abdugani Jimo goes, for me, this is not Nigeria's problem presently, rather poverty and insecurity. Naliba Ambrose goes, the National Assembly is already taking so much money. Why add more? Shagun Akintoye goes, we're already complaining about high cost of governance in Nigeria. They're busy making plans to further increase the cost of governance. Why not make it a law that of the 3 slots for each state, 1 should be reserved for women? Why not, if you must? Obina Uwaga goes down. If the head is not working, the body cannot behave well. African ruler problems. I go to the phone lines now. Hello, how's Frank?
Good evening, sir.
Hi, go ahead.
My name is Silver, calling from Adedayo. Not dealers. Sorry to use that statement. When you are talking of leaders, you are not talking about Nigerian leaders. We don't have leaders. Currently, we don't have leaders in this country. We have dealers. There is a difference between dealers and leaders. You are going home every month, no less than 30-something to 40 millionaires. A 3 senators can pay half of River State. 3 senators, over 20 million. Then you are fighting insecurity. How can you fight insecurity? Like Badagazina, Speaker of the Federal Representative was telling that he has brought out a formal committee that will fight insecurity, that will talk about to fight insecurity. How can you fight insecurity? Why your salary is less than 50,000 population of Nigeria? And you are now looking for another ad. I compared to somebody, you just read the text message that somebody said that they could have even reduced it for that East 374 district. Woman should be one of them, so that you will be great. We are even managing this all this in Nigeria. Not to be adding another one to be. You are adding salt into a very big salt. Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome. Hello, 91.3.
Yeah, Dayo. Thank you for your explanation. But my question to you is that, what do you think will be the solution since you don't like referendum? What is the solution? Thank you.
What does referendum have to do with this? Hello, Hard Factor, welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm from you see?
Go ahead.
I don't know, when some of us talk about this country, people will not, we will have thought how. Look at how the nation is burning. The nation is on fire. If anybody wants to say the raw truth, the nation, that's a problem. Go to all the pages of newspaper, all the media, it's security.
Yeah.
We are talking of restoration of the nation. Look at the amount of money that is being poured into the assembly. Now, I'm getting something like National Assembly, they are talking about bringing more women and more individuals, more people to stop money, to make their money, to make their living.
No, for oversight functions.
Whatever even they call it. Now, I'm hearing that the security has been built up in National Assembly in Abuja now. And they're taking information of other unknown government or whatever they call it, they're coming to attack them. The same National Assembly. Look at these our leaders actually imposing conflict. All these states, they are not even, I don't know where they are living. They are not living here in Nigeria or they are living somewhere. All this, look at what's going on that I expected National Assembly to deliberate. They call emergency meeting and deliberate on all these issues that people are clamoring. What is wrong? How do we correct issues in this country? They are busy talking of how to make their money, bringing more people. When we talk of bringing one senator from one state, if it's possible, if it's political senator, I'm talking of adding more people because they have enough money that to spend it for themselves.
Yeah.
So all these things are doing everything very soon. If they don't take time, very soon this will consume everyone in this country. I'm telling you. And it's already happening. If they feel comfortable in Abuja, they have this whole security. And time we come that security is overwhelmed by Nigerian people that are annoyed, that are annoyed against them. How can you be discussing of this kind of thing by this kind of time, this type of data without saying Nigeria?
So that they can properly legislate on security matters.
What are they legislating? There's no country in the world that will be on a legislation now. They will not come to emergency. They will not come to emergency security situation. There's no country in the world that will have this kind of the time these people have now talking about to make their money. What are they legislating? What are they legislating? What are the benefits to Nigerians? They just legislating into their pockets. How can they be discussing this kind of the issue by now when the nation is on fire?
Great to hear from you, sir. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome.
Hello,
Hi, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Go on, please.
I'm Stephen calling from Ule.
Go on, Stephen.
Dayo, from your analysis, have you seen the type of gas we have in this country? Which law are they making for us today at Abuja? They left the whole people here and loot all the money and stay at Abuja there. Now they want to increase the number of legislators.
Honorables, yeah.
Honorables.
Yes.
That is, and all of them are Obone people. They want to increase the number of Obone people.
I don't know about that.
No, that's all of them are Obone people. They want to increase their numbers to make a law for us. See, let them be very careful. Eh? As they are making that law there, one day they will not see any law to make. They let the whole people close every business, abandon the whole people here, stay at Abuja, and be making laws for us. We will see them now. We will see them with the law. No problem. We will wait them.
Right, you have from me as well. We got the news coming up shortly, top of the hour at 4 o'clock. But before that, maybe a few tweets. At Ike0280 Twitter, pertinent questions. What will be the job description of these women rep members? Are they going to be addressing issues concerning women alone? Which constituency will they be representing? How will they address the major pertinent issues facing the country at the moment? Have our distinguished senators heard about equality of opportunity and equality of outcome? What are they trying to achieve is equality of outcome. Anyone who knows what this is will not want that for any society. Couple that with the more important issues, it will cause chaos. Oh well. So I mentioned earlier on today's rant, or take your thoughts and my thoughts, continue till 4 p.m. So we'll take a break for the business news right now, and when I return, keep taking your thoughts on this situation till 4:30. Please stay with us.
The night is almost done, but conversations are never done on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Join Jude from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. on Let's Talk weekdays.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817.
Now the business news.
Good afternoon. I am Constance Mega with the news. A lawyer, Pakrima Wokoma, has faulted insinuations that the investors of the NBA Forex did not do any due diligence before investing. Mr. Wokoma, who said he is one of the investors, told our correspondent that he properly looked up the company and was told that it was duly registered with all relevant agencies before he invested his money. He, however, criticized the Central Bank of Nigeria for allowing MBA Capital and Trading Limited operate for the number of years they did before they were clamped down.
MBA is fully registered, regulated, certified, and endorsed by all relevant government agencies and regulatory bodies, both locally and internationally, and fully endorsed by the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Monitoring Unit. If government had allowed these people to pay for 4 5 years on Ponzi scheme. Why do they allow them? And coming up to accuse that they are not giving license. And they are claiming that they have every license from all the regulatory bodies. We have it here.
Well, the lawyer also said that the law which empowered the CBN to freeze the account of the NBA Capital and Trading Limited also empowers the Apex Bank to refund the company's investors after verification. Well, recall that some aggrieved investors of MBA Capital and Trading Limited, the Forex Training and Capital Investment Company, protested in Port Harcourt on Wednesday, demanding a return of their capital. The federal government's concerns about the present economic situation in Nigeria has led the Federal Executive Council to approve the National Poverty Reduction and Growth Strategy. Presidential media aide Femi Adesina said government has been working to reverse the poverty situation.
It's not as if government is not aware that there's poverty in the land, but things have been done. And one of it is this National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy that was presented today. And that strategy is what is already codified in this. The Council also noted that the President had pledged to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. Actually, by June 12 this year, that promise will be 2 years old. It was noted that it is work in progress, and it is work that will get done.
Well, Mr. Adesina used the occasion to stress that federal government's plan to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty is still a work in progress.
At the Federal Executive Council is that any memo that comes, particularly on contracts or seeking approval for one thing or the other, most approvals go with an enumeration of jobs that will be created alongside. Minister for Labour and Employment can give you the facts and figures. I also want to then challenge the media. That promise is going to be 2 years in June. The media could also now investigate and say, in the past 2 years, since this promise was made, this is what has been achieved.
On the foreign scene, a surge in iPhone sales, especially in China, has led to a doubling of profits at Apple since the start of the pandemic. Rival tech firm Facebook also reported bumper revenues and profits, but the social media giant warned Apple's latest software release could undermine its prospects later in the year. And now to the oil prices. Light crude is at $64.84 per barrel, while Brent crude is at $68.38 per barrel. To the exchange rates now at the CBN, $1 is at 380 naira, 1 euro is at 459 naira 19 kobo, 1 British pound is at 528 naira 1 kobo. At the black market, $1 is at 485 naira, 1 euro at 582 naira, and 1 British pound is at 672 naira. And that's the business news. Contact our newsroom on 0818 900 0017. I am Constance Mega. Thank you for listening.
The night is almost done, but conversations are never done on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Join Jude from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. on Let's Talk weekdays.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers.
Welcome, Mark. Still Hard Factor 90.3 Nigeria Info, Herrenwood Harcourt. I'm Dio. 10 minutes gone past 4 p.m. Discussions continue. If you missed it, well, I delivered a rant a while ago, as I always do at the start of the show today. And you can, if you missed it, you can catch it on our social media pages, facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, also at Nigeria Info PH on Twitter. But usually the rant segment would have ended by now, but we have our friends from the Bridge Clinic coming over by 4:30. So I'm taking your thoughts still all the way till about 4:30 p.m. And my rant was on this story, this one from The Punch. Reps OK bill to create additional 111 seats for women. But the House of Reps is seeking to amend the Constitution to create a total of 111 additional seats in the National Assembly exclusively for women, because women are not being allowed enough participation in politics and governance in the country. That's exactly what they are thinking. So what they intend to do to solve this major problem is to add 37 extra seats to the Senate and 74 additional seats to the House of Reps. Very brilliant people that we have representing us in this country. So your thoughts, by the way, and I gave out figures earlier on. This year alone, the National Assembly had allocated to it, is it 134 billion? I keep forgetting the figure. I think it's 134 billion. That's it, actually. And there's still a lot of hue and cry as to the humongous sums. Nigeria being the poverty capital of the world, record unemployment numbers, record number of out-of-school children, and our National Assembly members are some of the highest paid, if not the highest paid in the world. And they're telling us that it's still not enough. We need more of them. Lines are open, 0817 93 0002 or 0003, 0817 93 0007 or 0009. We're live on Twitter and Facebook once again to mention that, and WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Hello, Hard Facts, welcome. Alright, go ahead. Go ahead. Hello, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I think the view is a very nice one, but they have forgotten that it's not only women that need proper representation.
Okay.
We need to make it up to 500 so that it will, the interest of the youth is respectful.
Okay.
And even the poor people.
So that you two can become honorable.
Exactly.
So that in fact, every family should produce an honorable.
So that is, I think it's a very big one, because I have seen that there is no way that they cannot, there is nothing that they can use our money to do, except that we share it. I think that is the best way to alleviate poverty, because I think this is one of those things that they want to use to alleviate poverty. And come to think of it, we have not seen the kind of caliber of leaders that we are electing on daily basis, representing us on daily basis. We see the way what they are thinking. And sometimes I think Nigeria is doing it, because after hearing all these things from them, I always say let's go people. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Hello, 91.3. Hello?
Hello there.
Hi there, go on.
Good evening.
Hello, go ahead.
My name is Colin. I'm calling from Mobile.
You're welcome. Go on, please.
Yeah. Sometimes the problem of this country looks like the day I was traveling with my father with our vehicle and it got bad on the road. We entered a mechanic workshop. Only that the mechanic guy does not know anything. Instead of him to say he doesn't know what is wrong with the car. We were managing it too. The guy just destroyed the entire car. We couldn't continue the journey.
Did he mention sensor?
It was when I removed my shirt and told the mechanic that he had to return the car back to the way it was. And he knew I was serious. So, if you cannot fix the problem, you would have simply allowed us to continue to manage at 40 kilometers per hour. But now the car can't even start anymore. That's the situation we find ourselves in this country now. The people that call themselves our honorables, they don't even know how to solve our problems. They are making the whole problem to go from bad to worse. Until we remove our shirt, and tell them they have to return us back to status quo, they will never know that we are serious in this country. Thank you.
But I hope you and your dad got to your destination in one piece.
Well, by the time I showed the red side of my eye, the guy knew that he had to return us back to status quo, and he did.
All right. Hello, Hot Factor, welcome.
Adedayo, original from Owerri.
Go ahead.
Don't you think that we need more honorables than those that honor them? And more distinguished than those that distinguish them? Come to think of it, I want to also join you to proclaim myself the special advisor on Nigerian people, to begin to have a rethink about honorables and distinguished people. Because these people, for one day, do not think about them. Do you now see where it appears that Nigeria is irredeemable? Dayo. Because while we have problems at hand, it does not even concern these people at all. So tomorrow when you call out to us to be patriotic, pray for Nigeria, and I say, how? How? I mean, the only unimaginable keep happening by the day.
Now, can you imagine things getting worse than it is right now? Can you? I mean, considering how bad things are, can you imagine a scenario where things get even worse? So if we don't want it to get there, we cannot fold our arms, because folding your arms and doing nothing will only guarantee that it gets worse.
Today, we close offices here in Owerri abroad. There are gunshots everywhere as well. And somebody is not thinking about these problems that are and that are visible. We are seeing them and we are talking about them. It's clear to them that we are in a different world. They are in a different world altogether. They don't care. They want to add more. They want to add more members of more honor. And my pain is not them. It's us that almost. You see how Nigerians roll on the ground for honorable. A counselor in my world, which everybody knows his character and how he became an honorable, a counselor. It's not an honorable, sir, honorable. And he must finish talking before every other person. Honorable. People are rolling on the ground. Honorable. What do we do to the mentality of Nigerian time?
We'll keep talking, and hopefully we'll get it someday.
It's very unfortunate.
We'll keep talking. Hopefully we'll get it someday. Hopefully. Via WhatsApp, a few messages, tons actually. Good day. In as much as I'm not against gender equality or women into politics participation, I think such a bill is irrelevant. Nigerians are clamoring about cutting down the cost of governance by scrapping one arm of the legislature. We have thousands of bills and motions Nigerians are begging to go through at least first reading. If women need more seats, let them buy forms and consent. This country might just grow worse, but we can't afford for that to happen. We really, just once again, imagine things being worse than it is right now. Just imagine it. Hi Dio, greetings. I don't get it. Is it seat creation that will place more women in political positions or making politics in the country to be viable for more women to contest? But I think we need to import solutions, because this is not a rocket science to solve a problem for more women to be in politics. This is preposterous. God help our lawmakers. And that's Blessing from Port Harcourt. All right. All right, Tony Wisdom says, I support this important bill. Women have been marginalized in terms of Nigeria's politics. I pray it scales through. Okay, all right, that's fine. Good to hear your opinion as well. Let's go back to the phone lines now. Hello,
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, go ahead.
Yes, that's how you call from London.
Go ahead, please. Hello, 90.3.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, go on.
Okay, Honorable Dayo, you and your station are the ones who have motivated the House of Reps, because you dedicated a line for females, so they are learning from your president.
but we didn't create a new line for females. It was one of the existing lines that was used.
You converted one. Okay. Well, on a serious note, it just shows how much we have lost responsibility as a people They have folded our hands for so long. Now, I'm very careful to use the right word so I don't malign anyone. We now have the kind of people we have right now making laws on our behalf. Well, they can go ahead and say whatever they want to say. I think, I'm not very sure, maybe someone can call and also correct me if I'm wrong. They will have to ratify that position because the constitutional matters. They have to ratify it by the various state houses of assembly. So it's now time for us to mobilize our state legislators and even our House of Reps people so that they can tone down that bill, if that's the case. But then, if we want to even mobilize them or talk to them and tell them to stand down that kind of bill, how do you even accept them? Prior to elections, you see them everywhere. They root for with you, they eat groundnut with you.
Yeah.
And when they get there, their numbers will change. If it doesn't change, the personal assistant is collecting taking calls on their behalf. So who do we run to? So we can't keep quiet. We'll keep talking. We keep pushing. Someday, this nonsense is going to stop. And when it stops, we'll look back and say, thank God we didn't keep quiet. That's my contribution.
Glad to hear from you. Hello? Hello? 913?
Hello, good day there.
Yeah, good day, go on.
All right, Madam Bakara, calling from Buguma. I think our National Assembly could be likened to a kindergarten school where toddlers and infants meet to discuss irrelevant issues. As a matter of fact, somebody moving such a motion to introduce a 100 and something seat for ladies, I expect the Speaker of House of Reps to call such person to order, or such motion should be dead on arrival. That's by the way. I think we have really lost focus as a country. If, in view of the challenges we are going through, insecurity, I think the primary function of government is to secure life and property. And in view of what we are going through, that somebody move a motion that has passed, is it first or second reading?
Yeah, it's past second reading.
It's quite unfortunate that we are hearing things we are supposed to hear in kindergarten school. That is what we are hearing in National Assembly. It's unfortunate. I am of the opinion that our National Assembly member, the bicameral legislature, should be scrapped to unicameral legislature. If that can make us to be more focused, let it be trimmed down to 100 members in view of even economic challenges we are going to couple with insecurity challenges. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay. A few more comments via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. Nigerian government is the most corrupt government in the world. Quote me anywhere, anytime. Tell me why the National Assembly would collect 134 billion in a year for doing nothing. This is actually the reason we're seeing the agitation from different groups, herdsmen, terrorist groups, etc. Now they want to increase the number of female legislatures. We are doomed. That's from Mr. Okafo. Interesting comment here, Martha from Ada George. Martha may have deciphered the reason for this once they leave office after 8 years to continue their career, in the National Assembly. So maybe our first ladies are now getting tired also of just taking pictures at events and wearing nice gowns. Maybe they also want to, they've seen what Remi Tinubu is doing in the National Assembly, and they're thinking, why not us also? So maybe they want to take the joint trip. So it's going to be a joint ticket, you understand? It's going to be a joint ticket. His Excellency the Governor and Her Excellency the First Lady, once they leave office, they just moved. they moved to Abuja, the National Assembly. Oh my God. All right. Okay. So let's see. Do I have anything else I'd like to touch upon? Via Twitter at Brownie Cool Tweet. Sometimes when I think about Nigeria, I feel so sad. Insecurity, poverty, struggling economy has brought this country down. The push and start reps are not concerned about these things, but rather concerned about their pot bellies. No offense to who have pot women for that matter. At Ogbatman72, I don't blame the lawmakers but the people. It's because they have their ways in whatever they say or do. Hope the civil rights societies are still awake. Oh yes, they are. But beyond that, all Nigerians must arise at this time. You can't afford to stand on the sidelines any longer. Our future, your future, literally depends on this. It does. Imagine things getting worse than it is right now. And it can. Don't delude yourself into saying that God will do it. Not that God cannot do it, but it can get worse. It can. And if things continue this way, it will get worse. All right, so our friends from the Bridge Clinic will be joining me shortly by 4:30 p.m. Do please stay tuned. I'll be right back in a moment. Hard Fast continue. We'll discuss male infertility. Do please stay with us.